Hi, I am Sri from Techie Talks AI. Let's once and for all understand the fundamental principle behind all machine learning and deep learning systems. At its core, the goal is very simple: improve the prediction accuracy, or in other words, reduce prediction error. During training, a neural network performs what is called a forward pass. In this forward pass, the input data flows through the network using the current values of the weights and biases. So that is one experiment. And the network produces a predicted output. And remember, when we begin the learning, these weights and biases could be absolutely random. So the predicted output also could be absolutely random from the actual value. But once we have this predicted value, we compare it with the actual or ground truth value and compute an error using a function called loss function. So these terminologies we must always remember. A loss function will compare the predicted value with the actual value and compute the magnitude of the error or magnitude of the loss. So here loss signifies the error in prediction. A common loss function is mean squared error. So far, this part is straightforward. Now comes the most important question. What do we do with this error? If we simply repeat the forward pass again using another set of random weights and biases, will we get the same prediction? Will we get a better prediction and reduce the error or reduce the loss? Think about it. There is absolutely no guarantee. Nothing improves. So clearly we must change the parameter cleverly. The weights and biases should be altered cleverly and then run the forward pass again to get a new prediction and a new reduced error value. Clear? But here is the real challenge. We just have one error value. How do we know which direction the error value decreases? Look at this plot. This is assuming that this plot, which is actually plotting 3x square, this plot, the red dot indicates an error at certain value of x and y. That is, at certain parameter value of x, the y is the error. Clear? As the error decreases, do you notice something? This, we are drawing a dotted line that depicts the slope of the point at that time, at that spot. So at every spot, we are drawing a dotted line to show the slope of that specific point. And if you look at the slope, do you see that the slope is decreasing as the error or the loss is decreasing? So when the loss is minimum, you will notice that the slope is zero. This is what we are going to discuss. So the real challenge is, how do we ensure that these parameter changes actually reduce the error? How do we avoid randomly tweaking parameters, moving in circles, or oscillating endlessly without convergence? Are you getting the point? This is exactly where calculus enters the picture. So we are all thankful to Isaac Newton. Imagine you are stuck in a mountain and it is thick fog all around. You don't know which way to step to get to the valley. That is the problem. Differentiation gives us that slope. If we imagine plotting the error, for example, MSE or mean square error against a single parameter or against many parameters, we get a loss surface. Single parameter will be a line like this, but multiple parameter will be a multi-dimensional surface. On this surface, higher points mean larger error, lower points mean smaller error. Clear? That part is clear. The lowest point in every direction represents the parameter value where the error is minimum. Clear? Lowest point in every direction represents the parameter value where the error is minimum or the loss is minimum. Calculus gives us a powerful tool to navigate this surface, the derivative. dy by dx. The derivative dy by dx tells us the slope of the error with respect to one parameter. Which direction the error increases, which direction the error decreases, and how steep the change is. When the derivative approaches zero, it means we are reaching a point where the error can no longer decrease. This is called a minimum. Clear? This leads us to the update rule that drives the learning. A new parameter is old parameter minus learning rate into the gradient. In words, the gradient tells us the direction in which the error increases. We move in the opposite direction. The learning rate controls how big that step is. By repeating the process, forward pass, error calculation, gradient computation, and parameter update, we steadily move toward the minimum error instead of wandering randomly. This systematic approach is what we call gradient descent. Remember, gradient descent. And when applied efficiently across all parameters using the chain rule of differentiation, that is, take one variable and consider all of the variables as constants, then it becomes backpropagation. And now, instead of just talking about it, we'll see this happening visually and step by step using Python and PyTorch library. Now let's understand how a typical mean square error plot looks when we vary just a single parameter. For this demonstration, we use a simple equation y is equal to 3x squared. If we plot the error against this parameter, we get a smooth curve like this with a clear minimum. So here is the minimum, or this is the point where the error is minimum. This y-axis depicts the error or the loss. In the animation, the moving red dot represents the current parameter value during training, and the slope at that point represents the gradient or dy by dx. Notice something important again. As the red dot moves closer to the bottommost point of the curve, the gradient becomes smaller and almost zero, and exactly at the minimum, the gradient becomes zero. This point represents the optimal value of the parameter, in this case the x, one specific weight or bias, the value that minimizes the error in this dimension. Now, this is where PyTorch tensors make our lives incredibly easy. Instead of manually computing derivatives, PyTorch provides automatic differentiation or autograd. Let's see how this works. I will share this collab notebook. So here we have y is equal to 3x square equation. So the first section is simply plotting this 3x square graph, nothing beyond that. Now we are going to compute the gradient. We are going to add a line to depict the gradient. See this? So this dotted line here, what you see is the gradient. How is this the gradient? At every point in x, if you take the value represented by this dotted line, you get the gradient value. And at this point, which is the minimum, you will notice that the gradient is zero. So this is the gradient plot for this 3x square graph. Clear? If this is not clear, don't worry. You can still proceed. If you stop and think what this graph is depicting, it will become clear. This line, its y-axis value is showing the gradient at any given point in x. Okay, let's move forward. We are going to see how PyTorch calculates gradient. So here we are defining one specific value for this graph. Okay, x is 2. Say here, x is 2. Okay, so x, that 2, we are creating a tensor, scalar tensor, that is tensor with dimension 0, which has a value 2, 2.0. And here we are specifying requires grad equal to true. That is the parameter that will ensure that this tensor, this x, will remember its past. how it has arrived at this specific value that is needed to calculate or compute gradient. And then here we are computing y equal to 3 into x square. See here? So PyTorch tracked all operations involving x. It automatically computed the derivative of y with respect to x when we executed this y dot backward and stored that value in x dot grad. This is backpropagation at the most fundamental level. Let's execute this. Here we are printing x, which is a tensor, scalar tensor, which has just one value, and y is computed to be 12. You see this? When 3x square, derivative of 3x square is 6x. So when x is 2, what is the value? 6 into 2, so 12. So here, are we computing dy by dx anywhere? No. So implicitly, requires grad automatically computes the gradient. So here, dy by dx is x dot grad dot item, the gradient for that specific value. So if you want to compute the gradient for another value of x, what do? We here just change this x to say 3. So what should be the value? Y is 3x squared and dy by dx is 6x. So 6 into 3, 18. See here, without us calculating, we have the derivative at given value of x. This makes learning extremely efficient when we use tensors, and in this case, we are using PyTorch. Now we will go further. Once we have this gradient, the next step is obvious. We update the parameter by moving in the direction that reduces the error. In other words, take the old parameter, subtract the learning rate based on the time each epoch takes. So subtract the learning rate multiplied by the gradient and use this new parameter value for the next forward pass. After each update, we clear the gradient. This is important because we are starting fresh with another forward pass. We don't want the history anymore. Then run the forward pass again, compute the error, and repeat the process. Let's see this in a complete training loop, still using just one parameter. This is where we are iterating, and we have, say, 10 epoch. Each epoch is one training or one forward pass. So here, let's execute this and see this in action. Now here, observe the loss. See this loss? Do you see the loss reducing from 5.76 to finally after 10 epoch, it has become 0.1621. Loss decreases smoothly and the parameter converges to this optimal value. This is not random guessing. This is systematic correction guided by gradients. This learning happens because gradients tell us how to correct our mistakes, and learning rate controls how fast we apply those corrections. So I have introduced a delay in this learning process. 2 seconds delay I have put. So each epoch happens slowly, and you see the loss reducing from 9. It has reduced to 0.25 now, 0.1621. See, after 10 iteration or 10 epochs, loss has become 0.1621. That is the idea. What you have just seen here with a single parameter is the exact same mechanism that trains deep neural network with millions of parameters. Only the scale changes, the principle remains identical. So understand this video really well and give your valuable suggestions and comments. So with this, we have understood how learning actually happens inside a machine learning model and how training helps us to arrive at an optimal set of parameters. In this video, we explored the role of differentiation and why gradients are the key to making intelligent corrections. We clearly saw how the forward pass produces predictions, how the error or loss is computed, and we also understood that training is not a one-time calculation but a repeated experiment where continuously redo the forward pass with carefully adjusted weights and biases, ensuring that each iteration moves us closer to convergence instead of wandering randomly. Most importantly, we saw how PyTorch tensors through the autograd mechanism make this entire process both elegant and practical, automatically computing gradients and enabling backpropagation with just a few lines of code. What we demonstrated with a single parameter here is exactly the same principle that scales to deep neural network with millions of parameters. Once this foundation is clear, everything else in deep learning begins to make sense. So here we have the forward pass. So this Y prediction is the forward pass. Then we calculate the loss. In this case, it is MSE or mean square error loss. And then we do the dy by dx for the loss to get the gradient in this loss dot backward. So here we compute the new weight and the iteration begins. But one thing is important: before we begin the second epoch, we need to ensure that we zero the gradient for the weight, so that weight's history is erased. We will compute the fresh slope or fresh gradient. Clear? If this video helped you truly understand how learning happens inside a neural network, not just how to use the code, but why it works, then you are already ahead of most people. What we explored here is the foundation of all machine learning and deep learning. Once gradients, laws, backpropagation make sense, everything else from neural network to transformers becomes far less mysterious. If you found this useful, do like the video, share it with someone who is struggling with backpropagation, and subscribe for more deep, intuitive explanations like this. In the next video, we'll build on this foundation and see how these same ideas scale to multiple parameters and real neural networks. Thanks for watching and keep learning, one gradient at a time. Bye-bye. Stuck with tech? Overwhelmed by AI, cloud, or coding? Mentor Expert gives you personalized one-on-one help, step-by-step guidance, and instant clarity. Your solution starts here.